All right, deer season's here. We got the bow set up, everything's ready to go, but we're not ready to kill a deer yet. And one reason why is because
Rise before the sun, it's that time of year. Load up my gun, put on my gear.
well, we don't have the preparation all done. But I'll take you a little bit on the skinning, shed, the cleaning of the deer, the post work that needs to be done. If we prep first, makes it a lot easier. So first off, having a place to clean it. Now originally, this was our spot, okay? We just, a couple 4x4s, you got a 4x4 at the top. We've actually added a bat house to it now, and we can still clean the deer here. But this is our original spot. And the thing about this spot was, it was great. But when we were in that spot, if it was pouring down rain, they run an external light or just use a headlamp or something the entire time. And that got a little bit troublesome a few times. And so we moved it, and we actually built a little workshop down lower on the farm, and we've got a little lean-to. Now, what I'm going to take you through is what we've got, what we do, and how we get everything processed. You know, take a deer from step one, from the time you shoot it until the time you eat it. But so we have the area up there where we're going to be cleaning the deer originally. I think actually, well, first off, originally we had it in a tree down here. We had it in a tree, just pretty much threw a rope over a big limb, and that's how we did it. And then now we actually have this set up in here. We have lights, which is nice. We have shelter, that's really good. I have a gambrel up here, and we have a big hook on it, and we got the pulley, and it runs over to this beautiful thing here, the crank. All right, so this makes us, no matter how big the deer is, we can crank it up by ourselves if we have to. We can just pull the truck in here, or the four-wheeler, or the ATV, or the Ranger, or whatever you got. You can just pull it in here, hook the deer to the gambrel, and crank her on up. So that is it's nice. Now, it's not indoors. You still get cold and everything else, but we do have lights, and we have a little bit of shelter. You know, this has taken years to get this thing. But next I'm going to take you in, because like I said, we're not ready to kill a deer yet. Everything's ready. If a deer walks out, we can shoot it. But once we shoot it, what are we going to do? The problem is, if we shoot it right now, we're going to come in, and this is our cleaning area. We're going to have to clean this up before we can finish actually getting the deer processed. You know, and right now with the warm temperatures, we don't want to take we don't take an hour to clean this up. So we're going to go through, clean this up, and I'll kind of tell you about, when we get it all set up, how it's going to happen. Right now it's kind of a mess, because we've used it as a workbench, cleaning fish and all kinds of things over the past couple months, but it's deer season. So let's get it ready to clean some deer. Boom. All right, so that's it. It was real quick, just kind of a cleanup. And now we didn't get everything just spotless, because we'll still go do some fishing. It's still warm enough. And, you know, we'll still use this whole area as a workshop. So every time we come in, we're going to wipe it down, clean it off, make sure there's no wood shavings or iron shavings, any kind of metal that would get our meat. Now let's go over the bare essential that you need. Good light is going to make sure that you, one, don't cut your finger off, but you're going to cut the meat and get it done right. Secondly, you want a good surface. Now we've got a couple that we've actually built in. We've got this one here that's actually movable. So if we have a couple deer at a time that we're cutting up, we can have a couple different stations that we can all kind of go through. Somebody can debone, somebody can cut the meat, somebody can wrap it. We can kind of just get a process going, which is really handy if you have a bunch of people at one time, or a bunch of deer that you're working up. Another thing we need to have is some buckets. These are just simple plastic buckets. And we will wash these out, and what we'll do is we'll leave them bottom side up. That way, not a lot of bugs and dirt gets in these, so you don't have to wash them constantly. Always have is a knife with a good gut hook on it. Now, a knife with a good gut hook like that is going to help you whenever you're gutting the deer. You're going to be able to cut up, do whatever you need to do. Now, this will go in my pack. So if I decide that I'm going to gut the deer in the field, you know, if he gets down a big holler and it's going to be in trouble getting him up, might gut him out there to have him a little bit lighter, can actually drag him, throw on his shoulder, whatever you got to do to get him out. So having a good gut hook with you in your bag, but then also whenever you get back, you know, if you want to hang him up at your skinning shed, whatever, then you can use the gut hook there. All right, you need a good gut hook, and you're always going to have your pocket knife on you, of course, right? Yeah, you are. But you can have a couple other knives. I like to have, you know, a good folding knife. It locks in good. A little bit smaller than your gut hook knife, maybe a little bit bigger than your pocket knife. Good for helping you skin the deer and just kind of get in there and cut when you need it. Okay. Other than that, whenever you're setting up your spot, I like to have a wide array of knives. So we have an entire bucket of knives, and a lot of these, if you'll notice, are actually like fish fillet knives. All right. A good fish fillet knife is going to be real important whenever you're getting down close to the bone and doing a lot of that intricate work that's going to be needed. Anyway, and then we've got a little brush right here. We'll scrub up, you know, we have bloody spots and stains. Now, when we're talking about knives, two more things that are really important. One would be the sharpener. Now, we do have a sharpener like this. This is a work sharp, and it's actually electric, so you just hit the button, you run your knife through. Super fast, super good. Get you a really, really nice edge on that knife. We hit it. One thing you want to make sure is just that it's not going to be throwing any metal into your meat. Another thing you can use, and this is another one by Work Sharp, but this one is one that you can stick in your bag, in your pocket, whatever, whenever you're heading out to the woods. So you have like a coarse and a fine, and you even have a little ceramic, like a wet rock right here on the back. So, and it's got a place for you can do scissors. You can actually work on if you have an axe or something. Next is it's good to have a good pair of gloves. All right, these are actually a special kind of, they're a little bit of like a cut proof. If the meat's cold, it cuts better. So you have these, you put these on, it's not going to cut your finger, and your fingers won't get as cold, and you can do a little bit more meat at a time. So having a good pair of gloves is handy, not essential, but nice. Other than that, you know, that's pretty much it. Well, of course, we've got our freezer paper. I got a couple of those up here. We've got our different cleaning stuff, and we've got a roll of paper towels hung up, and we have a few more rolls kind of stashed around, so whenever we need them, we have them. Got a good old radio up here that'll play some jams if we need it, and other than that, that's kind of the basics. You can add in grinders, you can add in tenderizers, you can add in all kinds of things. We have some saws. Let me show you those. The main reason you want a saw is for bones. It's a lot easier to cut the bones with a saw than cutting them with a knife. I mean, you don't have to have a saw, but it makes it really handy. That's pretty much it, except for the freezer. And we got a fridge and a freezer over here, and that's going to help get the meat cold, keep it cold if we're not cutting it up, especially when it's warm and hot. All right. It's time to go kill a deer. We're ready.
Read through the woods, don't make a sound. I'm feeling pretty good about putting something down.
You can grab it, it's a nice little handhold, sharpen it up. So we'll leave them bottom side up